Welcome to the Nikki Rich Show. I'm your host, Miss Nikki Rich, and today, guys, we have an exciting show for you. We are broadcasting live out of Los Angeles, California, and we have newly author Anthony Cherry in the house. He is an actor, he is a singer, hairstylist, talk show host, and as I explained to you, he is a newly author. So, with no further ado, I'm excited and honored to welcome Anthony Cherry. Welcome. How you doing?
Hey, I'm great. Yes, I'm great.
Happy Sunday. So excited to have you. I want to say congratulations. It's always a pleasure to talk with you on all your endeavors, your success, and all your projects you're working on. But today you have something new.
Yes, I do. Bam.
From rock
My
to
new
lock.
book, From Rocks to Locks. It's a story about my life journey. It's a story of triumph over adversity, betrayal, lies, murder, scandal, but also a road to victory.
It is, and you have an amazing story. I like how in the book you started, just as a young child, and then you talked about your family, your mom, your uncles. And I mean, first off, how did you even, get the thought of wanting to write this book?
A thought becomes a thing, and I guess seriously. So maybe like 5 years ago, I had thought about all
Mhm.
the situations in my life and how many things I've overcome. And I was like, you know what? I need to write a self-help book to teach people like myself who came from the inner city, that your dreams can come true. Because I've been great at manifesting things. I didn't know that at the time, but I've always got what
Mhm.
I wanted. And I was like, you know what? I want to share my experience because so many people always tell me how inspiring I am, how influential I am, how I've motivated them. So I wanted to put this in a real time capsule, to be able to have for the future, to be able to help people like myself and other people just to stay motivated, always believe in yourself, always have a continual passion for self-determination. Your naysayers are your best fans, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of the
Mhm.
reasons why I decided to write the book. And when COVID happened, boom, I'm like, you know what am I going to do with my time? I'm a workaholic, so I was like, oh, I got to find something to do. So during COVID is when I wrote this book where a thought became a thing.
Now, how did you come up with the title?
The title basically it was just automatic. I thought about my life.
Yeah.
I used to sell rocks when I was very young, and then I started doing locks, which is her. So I'm like, you know what? That has been my journey. Let me take it and just say from rocks to locks. And that is a true story. Everything in the book, I've never made up anything. This is my life, my journey, and from my perspective.
Now, you talked about writing and COVID. Did you ever have a point where you had writer's block?
No, because I was so ready to get this out. It was just waiting for me. It was just like a gusher. Soon as I started it, I was up maybe like I was up all night writing on my laptop, going, 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 going. It was
Hmm.
ready to come out. And I literally wrote this book in 2 days. Then I stopped. I took a break. I didn't actually take a break. I actually stopped because I thought it was over. But then you know how things go. God was like, no, it's not ready yet. Because they needed some more pieces to it. The
Hmm.
last part of the manifestation, this is when I booked the jobs, the TV show and the movie with Tamala Jones and with Tammy Roman, and then I had met this other prophet. So that story had to be part of this book. So I thank God for even allowing me to, to be mindful and to just wait. So because it made all the sense. Now that was the pieces that I needed. And then I was like, you know what? When I went back to do the book, I was like, you know what? I started in November of last year, of
Hmm.
2022, to got the process going with Pacific Ghostwriting Company. I was like, you know what? Let me go and start the process. And I've literally been working on this every week since then.
Wow. Now, I know we always talk about inspiration, and I know you
Mhm,
talk a lot about your mom and, where you came from
mhm.
in the beginning. So, is your mom your inspiration in this book?
Well, my mom is definitely my inspiration because she cultivated and created who I am. You know, without her, there would be no me. Like, what
Yeah.
that thought became a thing for her. So my mom is
Hmm.
definitely one of my greatest inspirations. My mom also was one of the people who prepared me for life indirectly. It's not what, that's what I mentioned in the book. It's not what happened to you, it's what happened for you. And looking back,
Hmm.
hindsight, all those things, good and bad, got me to where I am today. But then some of the other greatest influences were my grandmothers. They were heavy, like heavy, significantly in my life.
I know there's a lot of challenges that you discuss and talk about. What was the hardest thing when sitting down writing? I mean, what was the hardest thing when you wrote this book? Because, just going back and reflecting is not easy. And just to
Don't
write it and let everybody else hear it, out there to hear your story. I mean, what was the hardest thing to put out there?
I think the hardest thing for me to actually, the process of writing the book was
Hmm.
actually getting the details and all of the stories. I have so many stories. And I'm glad you said
Okay.
that, because from this part of the journey now, with me being an author and a writer, I've always took a creative writing. I've always did oratorical contests. I always entered oratorical contests for writing and stuff. So now what I plan to do now is to take this book, every chapter, because it was challenging, I couldn't tell everything because there was so many different timelines and so many different stories. Because the people notice in the book, a lot of stuff I mentioned and talked about and never revisited. That's because I'm getting ready to write. Every chapter of my book will be another book.
I was going to ask that.
Yep. So that was the
Every
challenging
chapter.
part. Then the other challenging part for me was reliving some of the moments of, like, when I got shot, when my best friend got killed, when my grandmother died, when
Mhm.
my other grandmother died. So those are some of the challenging moments, to relive those moments. And even when
Uh-huh.
it came down to it, not writing the book, but finishing the book, when it came to editing, I had to literally revise and edit this book 6 times. You know, my book was supposed to come out on March the 25th.
Hmm.
Next thing I know, the people told me the day before it was supposed to come out, the person who worked on the first 6 chapters never turned in the edits,
Hmm.
so my book couldn't come out. So literally have to read this book. I like I say, I feel guilty that I read this my book more than I read the Bible. You know, I literally had to write and revise and read this book from beginning to end 6 times.
Wow. Wow.
So
Well,
to all
how do
these
you
people out here that
feel
want
about now that it's out? Everybody is purchasing because I see
to,
everybody is just getting your book now. Some people got it before you.
yes. I know, right? That part, that makes me giddy, because I'm like, I'm trying
Mhm.
to stay composed, but the feeling is like, I feel accomplished in a way. Um, and I've always been a reacher and obtainer, but this is just another level, another layer and level of who I am. And I'm glad people are getting a chance to tap in and actually see, because I've done so much. I've been a hairstylist, a chef, a writer, a musician, an actor, an activist, and a motivator, and so it's like I'm glad the chance that I get to put it
And
all.
chef he is, because you cooked for me when I was sick. I mean, he
Yes.
said the Uber. I never seen it before, y'all. Let me tell you, when I was sick, he had the Uber driver. He cooked the food and had the Uber drivers to bring the food. I mean, you was amazing.
Thank you. And you are too, Nikki. And I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much, because you know what's crazy? But I feel like, only because I really rock with people who rock with me. And I know you rock with
Mhm.
me, because no one else deserved this exclusive but you, because you
Yeah.
did the exclusive to my music. When I first released my music, I sat down right with you downtown. And I'm so
Yes,
honored and I'm so thankful. And this is an ordained moment.
it is, and it aired on TV and still airing too on
Yes.
Spectrum. So you never know, like, God, He is so amazing. He put these gifts inside of you. He put them inside of you, and you are just releasing them. And we are excited to share here on the Nikki Rich Show
Thank you.
anytime. When I saw it, you said, "Hey, I'm releasing a book." I said, "We got to get you on the Nikki Rich Show."
Yes.
Yes, immediately. Now,
And when
where
and you
can they go and purchase? Because we want
and
them
I'm
to
gonna pivot
purchase.
from that, because you said something that was really big for me. You said where
Okay.
when you said damn, I see, I forgot already. But
No.
you writing a book for me is now like anybody else that would like to have a book. If you are stuck in between, I could either consult you on it, or I could help you write your book. You know, because I do love writing. And then like right now, oh, that's the pivot. This is the pivot for me because when you say gifts, God said your gift will make room, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is my room because I love doing her. I've been doing it forever, but now I'm ready to do something a little bit different. You know, something that takes that I can use my mind, you know, and not so much my body. So I wanted to reiterate on that part about the pivot from your gift will make room, and this is my room. You know, there are other things that I want to do, and then you know, I'm gonna give you the exclusive.
We're gonna do it all.
Right now, I'm getting ready to turn the book into a movie or either series. I think I'm
Okay.
gonna do a movie first, and if I get the right backing, we can turn it into a series.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know,
I love it.
there's never been a story told about or out of St. Louis, and St. Louis is always in the conversation. If anybody didn't know, that's where I'm
Mm-hmm.
from. St. Louis, Missouri. Just show me state. You show me seven, I'm gonna show you eight. So I just want to be a trailblazer to represent and put it on for my city and put it on for Black excellence and even put it on for myself by being part of the LGBT community. That we do have people that you know are still trying to live the dream of Martin Luther King.
Yes, and you make it happen. You don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you've been on several reality shows, working with so many people. You work with everybody in the industry,
Mm-hmm.
and you're a legend
Thank
in the
you.
hair game. In every aspect that you do, you are a legend. Even from the TV to the hair to the music. I mean, even your music, you have been blowing up throughout Hollywood performing. I mean,
Yeah.
you perform at on the biggest stages. I mean, just those opportunities as an artist,
Mm-hmm.
that is amazing to me.
Yeah, that's all embodied, and because you know what, like
Hmm.
on the back of my book, I have a scripture. Like most of the people that didn't know, my grandmother, my mom's mom, she was a prophet. If my grandmother told you a bird was gonna land on your car at 3 o'clock tomorrow, it happened. I've been given that gift as well, but I don't want to say I'm a prophet,
Hmm.
but I do know things before it happens. I have dreams and all this type of stuff, right? But on the back of this book, I was prophesied to by a woman in St. Louis before I even thought about coming to LA at all. And she told me, she was like, you get ready to go on a long journey. And I'm like, okay, this lady just saying anything. She like, and as I'm saying, she was like, you get ready to go on a long journey. And as I got ready to doubt her, she must have felt that in her spirit. She said, you got a woman in your name who passed, your grandmother. And I'm like, okay, everybody's grandmother been passed. She said, no, your grandmother has a G in her name. When she said
Hmm.
that, I kind of like, okay. She said her name, I like my grandmother's name does have a G in it. And she said, as sure as you had dreams about snakes last night, I stood up at full attention. Because I had just had dreams about snakes. And she said, those
Mm.
snakes are the people that pretend to be your friends. I'm not your friends, baby. She said, there's jealousy all around. She said, God ready to take you on a long journey. She said, I keep hearing something about Hollywood, Hollywood, Hollywood. I'm like saying to myself, I ain't going to no Hollywood. I'm going to New York. Because at that time, I was maybe like um, 21. I'm like, baby, I'm going to
Hmm.
New York. I always wanted to go to New York to model, right? Then boom, next thing I know, when the opportunity presented itself, I ended up in California. And stars did come to me for something. Stars come to me to do their hair, you know,
Hmm.
and the rest of the things. And she left me this scripture. Habakkuk 2:2. That's why it was very important for me to put this in my book. It said, write the vision and make it plain upon the table, so the man that read it will read it and run. Though it may tarry, which means wait, though it may wait, the vision is yet for an appointed time. God's word does not come back void. And I have lived with that inside of my heart. That's why I'm the type of person where I'm very confident, but then I don't have to be a braggadocious person either, because I know that the things that God is promising me are going to come to pass, because most of the rest of it has, and the best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come. And I do like how you surround yourself. Even here, you surround yourself with great people,
Mm-hmm.
that supports you, who believe in you, who celebrate you. But you
Yeah.
can also be by yourself too.
Yes, yes, because I was just ready to say, your vibe attract your tribe. I have been able to accumulate a good core group of people. I'm more of a
Mhm.
quality over quantity type person. And like I go places and do things, but I will say this, right? Even with my music, right? There have been people, and all of the people that I'm around or that I do know, I can't even really call them friends. And this is two parts. I can't even really call them friends. Guess what? A lot of people didn't even support me with my
Mhm.
music. you know they really didn't. Some people that could have put me in on platforms or different situations, they didn't. But guess what, I'm not mad
Mhm.
at them, and I didn't take it personal. It did let me like, okay, checkmate. However, because you know what God said, whatever happens for you, I want to get the glory. So that when it comes to the time where I reach that pinnacle of what I see for myself, everybody gonna know God did it. It didn't have
Yes.
to, it's gonna be through somebody else, but guess what? It's gonna be through somebody else that I never even dealt with. Just like Tamala Jones. Shouts out to Tamala Jones. I thank you and I honor you. Tammy Roman, I thank you and I honor you. Guess what? Those two people casted me on a movie and a TV show. Don't even know me.
Mhm.
So how could somebody like them that don't know me and I've never poured into their soul, and a lot of people that and I don't have a sense of entitlement, but it's like you help your people, right? And there's been people that are in
Yes.
position, like I have one of my very closest people in my life I've been knowing forever is a casting director. It's never casted me for anything. But like
Mm.
I said, I'm not mad. I am peeping the game, but and that's just what it is, and it's okay. I'm gonna pave and make God is gonna pave and make a way exclusively
Yes.
for me.
He is, and he's already doing it because, like I said, when you show them your performances on the big stages in the middle of Hollywood, where people dream of,
Yeah,
they dream of it. Fashion Week and
yeah.
fashion shows. I mean,
Fox
who
Soul performances,
performs?
yeah. So yeah, I'm
Who
definitely
performs
thankful.
at Fashion Week? LA Fashion Week.
Yeah, we shut it down, and we shut it down, and that was a wish fulfillment for me because that actually was my birthday when I performed at the Globe Theater in 2022. I had my
Hmm.
cousin Tiffany Fox, who's a rapper. She's on the song with me. My song called Mirror Mirror. She's on
Yes.
the song with me, and my whole dad's family side of my dad's family came out. My mom's side was coming out too, but they all called COVID right before they came, so they didn't come. But
Hmm.
that was a wish fulfillment for me to be on a massive stage like that
Yes.
during Fashion Week. It was just a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it was a wish fulfillment moment. And another thing I want to convey is that a lot of times people who and I will never change because of
Hmm.
fame. I've always looked at it like my name is Anthony Charles, born with a name. Fuck fame. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's crazy that for me, I could never change no matter how much money because I'm used to this. I'm before I came to Los Angeles and St. Louis, I was on billboards all around the city. I dealt with the most elite, the most beautiful, just like now in my life now. So it's like a matter of fact to me, and I don't
Hmm.
really. And I said all this to say I don't really get the big head. I really don't, and because I always want God to give me more, and I don't ever want my pride to be my fall. So I kind of stay below on the humble,
Hmm.
for sure, but still a confident individual.
Well, now, can we expect a book release? I mean, meaning party and tour, any tours or big party to celebrate.
Yeah, I will. And the only reason why I haven't had one in LA because this weather. I'm inspired by the sun. I don't know when it's gonna be sunny. I don't know when it's gonna rain. So my birthday's in August. I'm gonna have my first initial book signing in St. Louis in
Hmm.
June. That's what I'm gonna start it. And then I'm gonna end it.
Okay.
The last one will be in LA. So I'm thinking it's gonna be for my birthday here in LA. And I might publish my
Okay.
yeah, and I really want to go because like right now my publicist with the my publicist just mentioned to me that the day that I want to have it, shouts out to the firm LA. I want to have it June the 23rd in St. Louis, but that weekend is BET weekend. So it's like, do I save it for
Okay.
BET weekend or really do something for me?
For you,
Yeah, and I think I'm
for
gonna move
you,
forward and do that for me. Yep,
do it for you. BET gonna be there. You've been
yep,
doing BET for
forever.
years.
Yes.
You need to focus on you.
No, for real, for real. And I think and you just helped me make that decision. I'm going to do it that weekend
Hmm.
because not only that, my best friend who's in the book from Indianapolis, there's a ball happening in St. Louis. And I do need to get back home to reinstate myself because I've been gone 21 years. A lot of people don't know me or people have
Hmm.
probably heard of me, but I want to go back home and reinstate myself. So at that ball, it's all, I'll get a chance to see all the new people from the new generation, and
Hmm.
then probably have them come out to my book signing at Barnes and Nobles in St. Louis. So and then go from my best friend, go back with him to Indianapolis and have a book signing there because I used to live there as well.
Exactly. It's all about you this year, honey.
Yes, and you know
How
what,
can you
Nikki?
focus on you when you worried about these?
Now you know what. Now that's a word. And that brings me to my next comment. Because this year is about me. I spent most of my life in Hollywood helping other people. I really did.
Mhm.
I put so many people in position or help them get to their goals. I'm gonna write about that too.
Mhm.
And it's not but God allowed me to do that, right? So
Yes.
now I'm thankful that God left me relish, you know what I'm saying, the right mind, still look decent enough to be
Mhm.
able to appeal to people. So now it is about me. All the stuff that I put into other people, I'm putting into me.
Put it
Big
into
facts.
you. It's your time. From rocks to locks to Hollywood.
To
you
Hollywood
know.
royalty. To Hollywood royalty,
Mhm.
because like for me, because I've been in the business before the shift came. Because I have a quote to say, now we living in an age in Hollywood of whatever over integrity, where fame is fleeting. I still, no matter what popularity is, I'm still gonna rock with class, character, and distinction and discretion.
Mhm. Yes. Yes. Now, where can they find your book? Where can they go purchase? They can go purchase right now.
Right now, you can go to Kindle and get it on Kindle. It's $9.99 on Kindle, and you can go to Amazon. You can get the softback for $19.99, and you can get the hardback book. They just released that for $29.99. Amazon, and soon I'm gonna have it on my website. But right now, I'm gonna just let Amazon do its own thing because that's one of the biggest platforms you could have. And
Mhm.
at Barnes and Nobles, you'll be able to go pick it up there too. Well, you can order it on Barnes and Nobles as well. But so I want to run that mission right there because I want to be able to get into the literary game and
Mhm.
get used to this whole new world of writing books and being part of an author.
Yay! Have you connected with other authors since then? Because this
Yes.
is like a whole new network.
Yes, because you know what? Now I know like Brayley Evans, Safari, a couple of my clients, they all have written books. So we're all actually going to get together and do a big book party. So I want to set that up for my birthday so we could just be like a whole shabam and shaboom, a bunch of authors in the room.
I'm an author too. Don't forget
Hey, okay, well, Miss Nikki Rich, you're more than invited to join the plethora of us to celebrate our oeuvre.
me. Yes. Well, we got to get together since you still here,
Yes.
and just go out, celebrate.
Yeah,
You know.
I plan on doing. I really want the right day. The sun has to be
Mhm.
out for me to really do that. I don't because LA we had one day is nice. I'm gonna wait till we get closer to the summer to really start to celebrate. Or you and I
Yeah.
can do something intimately. I'm totally down with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, most definitely. Well, I'm so excited about everything you have coming
me
up.
too. Me too.
And
Me too.
speaking of, let us know some other projects you're working on. Do you have anything else going on?
The movie that I'm going to make out of
Okay.
this book. This is what is
Get
exciting.
ready.
Yeah, this is what exciting for me. I just started. I wanted to wait to get the book because the girl is going to help me actually write the script out. We're going to sit down hand in hand and work it out and doing that. And I'm going to write the synopsis to send it over to this one director who's interested in probably shooting a movie for me. So
Okay.
that's my next mission. And other than that, I'm working on myself, getting healthy, getting fit, and submitting myself
And
for
you
other.
look good. You
Thank
look
you,
good.
thank you.
Yes, you are getting fit.
Yes, 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 yes. So I'm trying to get myself together for other casting roles. Um,
Okay.
so that's my whole thing right now is really pivoting and going straight into because at the end of the day, if a person asks me what is your long-term goal, to be a media mogul,
Hmm.
like the things similar to what Tyler Perry has done, because I know that I have content. I'm a tastemaker. I know I can
Yes.
make things that people will actually like. If you read it in my book, I talk about this prophet that I met named Esther in this last season of my life, right? And Esther told me when I met her, she said, "Why are you afraid of fame and success?" She said, "God has been knocking and knocking and knocking at your door. Walk through the door." She's from the island, so she said, "Walk through the door." She said, "Walk through the door." And I was like, she's like, "Why?" And I was like, you know what? I've worked with people in Hollywood for the past 15 years, and most people I work with, they're not happy. They have no peace, and what they go through. I see what people go through, and I'm like, I don't want that for me.
Mm-mm.
She like, but you're not them. And she said, God has a purpose on your life. When she said that, I'm like, okay, boom. And then that next week, I got the job with Tammy Roman to actually work on the House of Vicious that aired on BET. Then you got to read the book. You got to read the book. It's always a
Yeah,
book.
you gotta read the
You
book.
got to
You
read the
can't
book.
give them
But
all with
yes, but and I got some juicy stuff in there. And then I told the book also. Let's get back to the book. The way that I wrote this book as is literally if I was having conversations. Like I'm gonna go back and do an audible too.
It, it it is. It's like you were having conversation. You were just writing. It was
Yes.
just it's a flow, and I like
I
that.
was telling a story.
Mm-hmm.
Telling a
You
story.
were.
So yeah, those are the next things that I have coming up. And then whatever the universe has for me is like right now, I just told somebody I'm an autopilot. I am literally trusting God because I am literally trusting God. I'm on an
I think
autopilot.
you can. You know what? You can mix in there some cooking in your book.
Yeah,
I think you can do like a little cookbook or something because you
I
be cooking
am.
now.
Oh,
Your
yes.
food is
The
so
next
good.
the next book I'm getting ready to put out before I put out the series of this, because in my book I have so many quotes, so many one-liners. I'm ready to
Mm-hmm.
come out with my Anthony Cherry isms, my
Okay.
one-liners, and people are going to get a chance. I have over 300. It's going to be like a little self-help motivational little book, not that big, but it would definitely help you, baby, to pinpoint, like how in the Bible they have like a scripture that just says one thing,
Mm-hmm.
like this too shall pass, stuff like that. Those things I want to give to people to help them get past whatever it is they're going through in their life. So that's another thing that I'm working on. I'm gonna have out soon as well too.
Wow, I love it, Anthony.
Thank you.
You got a plan.
I
We're so
do.
excited
I
about
do.
it.
They see God said a man without a vision will perish. And I do
Mm-hmm.
have plans. And that led me to say about that door, when the right door opened up for me, Nikki,
Yeah,
if my mind and what I know what God has shown me, it's gonna be astronomical. It's gonna be everything I thought of and more. And my whole thing is like when I do this, because I'm on extended time, everything I've ever wanted to achieve, I've done it. Like
mm-hmm.
seriously. So now I feel like my purpose has always been to help and to heal and inspire, right? So now I literally want to be able to the people that are assigned to me, whoever they are that are out there, I want to be able to bless them to get them to where they want to be so they can live the life and see the things that I've seen. This is not even about me. This is not even about pride or like, oh yeah, no, that's not who I am. I don't knock nobody else, but that's not who I am.
Exactly.
I can be very much that. And I'm a Leo, but I don't live in my ego. I don't. I don't live in my ego unless I have to protect myself. I use that as my shadow
Mm-hmm.
side if it has to come out on somebody. But I definitely want to inspire people, man. I really do and motivate them. And also be the extension of, what the last of the dying breed of class and black excellence.
Yeah, yeah. You making it happen, and it's so inspirational. Just you, your story, and just a new. This is a new level, a new
Yes.
chapter.
Yes.
New
Yes.
level, new chapter, and I know it's exciting. You're gonna have new networks, new connections. It's gonna be amazing.
Yes.
2023 is amazing.
Yes, it has been. It has life. When I look back
Mhm,
on life, like Oprah Winfrey said something one day. She was like, all of those things, good and bad, ultimately push you where you go. And like I said, it's not what happened
mhm.
to you, it's what happened for you. And the
It
best is
is.
still yet to come. Like I love being optimistic. And I've won more than I've ever lost. I've been way blessed more than I've ever. And then if I do have times of like where it's raining in my life, it's okay. The sun gonna
Mhm.
shine. It's okay.
It is. It is. And we have those storms.
We do. But God has left us here, guess what? To
Mhm.
weather them as well. And it's
Yeah.
like how you go through it, because like I talk about in the book when I got my neck broke. What happened? You know what I'm saying? You got to read the book. But, I'm just throwing some things out there for you guys to tell you how triumphant I was over adversity where I really could have lost my mind. When I got shot, you know what I'm saying? When I lost my very best friend from third grade for murder, like how my whole trajectory of my life changed. And I could have succumbed to anything. I could have consumed
Mhm.
drugs, become an alcoholic, anything that was on the lower vibrational side. However, I put my best foot forward and I pushed through, and now God has brought me to the other side. And yes, in the future there will be other things too. But hey, if He brought me to it, He gonna take me through it. You know.
Yes. Yes. Well, Anthony, I have really, really enjoyed you today,
Oh, you too.
and you are amazing. We want to continue to support you and
Thank you.
everybody else. Once again, where can they go find your book at?
You can find my book right now on Amazon and at Barnes and Nobles online right now. You will be able to go in to get the hard copy because it just was released on Barnes and Noble like 2 days ago, so the hard copy will
Mhm.
be in soon. But Amazon is definitely where you can get it.
Okay. Well, Anthony, I thank you for being our guest here at the Nikki Rich Show. Make sure you all subscribe to Nikki Rich Show TV or Nikki Rich the number two. And thank you for watching the Nikki Rich Show here live with Anthony Cherry. And I am Nikki Rich.